Welcome to my channel, Ken here. Today let's take a look at the big talk button. Let's go! Please hit that subscribe button below. Leave a comment what you think about this product. The big talk button is basically a on-off button for your microphone when you communicate with your performer in another space that can't hear you acoustically. So this utility is super essential if you need a button to turn on and off your microphone so they don't hear all the noise from the studio or other people talking while they're in there, or the music playing back. So then your mic is muted when it needs to be muted and it's on when it needs to be on. You need to talk to them in there. And there are many ways to do this. So let me show you how this works. Here we have the Talkback. You can see the Talkback mic is open right now. We need to control that so it only is on when we want it to be on. I'm going to instantiate the big button here, big talk button. Here it is. I'm just going to do this. So we have these four options up here. The toggle, which means that you click it and you unclick the mouse. Latch here, it means that it stays on with one click and then turn it off with another click. Then you have auto. Auto is that it basically mutes the mic when the transport is moving. If the timeline is moving like it is now, it'll turn off, and it'll open up again once you stop the transport. The rev auto is the exact opposite. So now it'll be muted because we don't have the transport moving, and then we'll start the transport and it'll turn on. I'm not sure this last rev auto, how useful that would be, to be honest with you. Now let's go back to toggle, which is to me the most useful. It's not so useful now if you have to dig out the plug-in every time you have to use it. So it would be better to assign it to something like a MIDI button or something. So in this case, you go down here, you go into MIDI controller, and it says it's in learn mode now. So I'm just going to click a MIDI knob here. Boom. Done. That's all it is. So now every time I push that button, boom, it's on and it's off. Okay. You can also assign the keyboard thing to it, like here. I didn't use that very much. It's much better with the MIDI controller here. So it's D#1 on this button right here. So, of course, you have to assign, and here's the thing about this. You have to assign a microphone and a microphone preamp in order to have a microphone that you are talking into. You have to assign a channel on your audio interface in order to accommodate the mic that has to be used for this. So that's one thing that you got to keep in mind, and that will be a dedicated line just for talking back. Of course, it's very important to have communication in the studio, so I find that really important. Other than that, here we have the two elements of the big talk button. So you can also open this dimmer, so you basically can dim the output level here. So if I push to talk, you can see here, and there's much dimmer, so dim in fact that you can't see it right now. So here's more, so all the way up. Here's more. So actually I'm not over right now or very loud on my level here going into the Talkback. So that's basically all there is to it. Now there's another thing up here on the top bar. There's this little black circle right here. So when you press it, you can see that it lights up a little bit. So you can, without having this open, you can see when you use a remote like this, you can see when it's on and off just by looking at the top bar of your screen. I'm using Nuendo here, same as Cubase. And essentially, it's not hugely useful here because you actually have, if you can see down here, you have an actual Talkback button that you can assign the same way. But on other DAWs and on other systems, it can be very, very useful to have this flexibility in line with what you're doing. Of course, you have like a hide all function button here. You can set up your presets. So I'll save this as my preset right now, and then it'll remember the MIDI controller and the toggle function on this. So that's essentially how simple this thing works. I mean, there are a couple of things I found extremely useful because you have all the flexibility in the world to assign it to anything you want. It could be a MIDI note on your keyboard, or it could be a foot switch that you assign to a MIDI command or MIDI note, or any buttons like I've done. I even have a percussion pad that I could assign it to. So let's do that for a second. So I'm back in the learn mode now. So I'll just assign this MIDI pad here to it. And that's all there is to it. So unlock it again. And we're back to the original MIDI controller, that MIDI note that is assigned to my icon platform. So hugely useful for if you don't have it built into your DAW. As a matter of fact, it's essential if you don't have it built into your DAW. And it works as intended. It's very quiet. It doesn't make any pops or clicks or anything like that. Well, the big talk button is certainly a good utility for any studio that requires a plug-in version of a Talkback button to open their mic to talk to your performers in the other room especially. So it works as advertised, it's completely stable, and I liked it a lot. It's a simple device that's very flexible, a rare thing these days. But anyway, it works as intended, and when you assign it to a button in your studios or a foot pedal or something that you find convenient, then it's perfectly fine. The only thing I have to say about it is that some DAWs have this built in already, so it's mostly useful for people that don't have it built in, or they want an alternative maybe that suits their workflow a little bit better. So it's definitely recommended, but double check that you really need it. You should know if you need this button or not, and if you need it, it certainly is needed. So it is recommended on those grounds alone. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell button. Until next time, take care.